Hey guys, it's September and it's the perfect time to be pruning a yew. Let's get to it. Here we have a very large cylindrically pruned yew, which is around about 150 years old. So what I'm going to be doing today is cutting this back and shaping it. Now this is done every year in September. Best time to do it is September because that's just after the heat of the summer, but it's before the wet weather in the autumn. You can see the age of this tree by the width of the trunk, and it's taken many years to be able to get it into this cylindrical shape. And that's what we're going to maintain today. Yews are a fantastic evergreen tree or shrub. The Latin name for yew is Taxus, and it's commonly known as the tree of life. Now this is just 1 year's growth on this tree, so you can tell it's quite a slow growing shrub, so if you want to get one, establish it early. Yews create a fantastic element in a garden as a shrub or a hedge, and they also bear these lovely red fruits. Now the yew is highly toxic, every part of it, apart from these little berries. The only thing is you can't eat the pip within, but the flesh around the berry tastes a little bit like pomegranate. Now you may be looking at this shrub thinking, why is there no growth at the base? We've actually got deer in this garden, and in the spring when it's putting on its new growth on the yew, I believe the toxin within the needles is very, very low, and the deer can actually consume it because, as you can see, they're little muntjac deer, hence the height, but that's actually the deer going round and they've stunted the whole growth, as I only cut this once a year. Now for these yews, you're more than capable of doing them with shears. However, because of the size of them and the amount I've got to do today, I'm going to be using a sharp hedge cutter. Now I do stress the fact it does need to be sharp, whether it be shears or a hedge cutter, otherwise it will tear the needles and it will end up going brown, so make sure that you have a sharp implement whichever you're using. Here's an example when a sharp hedge cutter hasn't been used. You can see all the tears and the browning on the end of that yew. That's just going to cause dieback across there, so that's not what you want to do. Make sure it's sharp. So when I do the sides of a yew, I can gauge how straight it is with my eye. But if you're just starting out, get yourself a bit of string with a weight on the end, what's also known as a plumb line, and that will help you and guide you to getting a straighter side on your hedge. The way I tell the top is straight, so I simply bring my level right down, and that looks pretty good. A couple of little bits over there which I'll just nip off with my secateurs, but just bring your eye line right down and that'll help you get a nice straight top. Now, as I said before, I'm using a hedge cutter on these ones. I'm just going to put some photos up now of a pyramid topiary yew. Now with these, as they're a lot smaller and there's only a few of them, I do these with shears. I get a lot better finish than if you're doing it with a hedge cutter. Additionally, when I'm doing these pyramid yews, I create a pyramid out of either bamboo or metal rods, so that framework is a lot easier to go off. If you measure out the same size square base and the height, and if you just tie that at the top, you'll get it perfect every time. But because of the size of these guys and the time restraints, I've got to use a hedge cutter. So the sides are done on this yew. Just going to go round, taking any bad cuts with some secateurs, just to neaten them up. Once again, sorting out this, trying to stop this vertical growth. So as you can see, if you left that, it's just going to keep going up and up and blocking this outward growth, which is what we're trying to achieve. So I'll just bring this off down to there, and that bit. And then we get a continuous thick cover of outward growth. Now it's worth bearing in mind also that you don't just need to hedge cut a yew or use shears. You can take a pair of loppers or a saw to it. You can take it right back to the bare wood and it will spring out with no problem at all, as long as you're doing it at the right time of year. So here we have a yew that was very overgrown, that was more of a large shrub, and now we're trying to topiary it into a ball with a shelf in a similar cylindrical pattern. If we get in close, you can see where we cut back to probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and how it's just sprung up out of the wood. Even further back there, yew's fantastic for just coming out of the wood. So I'm more than able to cut all the way back in there to one of these as well if I wanted to, and it would spring up absolutely fine. Here's another example that's been done quite recently. It's done last year. It was a very overgrown leggy tree with not much foliage on it. So we cut it right back to try and create a thicker tree in this little wooded area. And that's the top. So once again, nice level top, really happy with that. A couple of leaves to pick off. But other than that, nice and tidy. And these yew cylinders are actually really deep. I'll probably say about over 3 meters deep, if not up to 4. So it's quite a reach. Especially getting that level on contoured land can be a bit tricky. Oh, but there we are. Finished yew cylinder. That's all it takes really. Just a little bit of practice and get your eye in, and you'll be cutting it absolutely perfect every time. Now that's the basic principles for pruning a yew. Just give it a go. They're such forgiving pods. Hit it back a little bit too hard, not to worry, it will spring back. You can straighten it up next time. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you found it useful and entertaining. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Anyone who does that really helps the channel grow, so thanks. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.